Sorry it took a while since my last video. I was recovering from the emotional impact of this hate comment.
I hate parents who expose their children to Indian content only for those fuckers to disrespect their culture and get approval and validation.
Bruh, I don't think I need to say this, but these movies have nothing to do with Indian culture or the country. Just like everything in life, there's good Bollywood movies and bad Bollywood movies.
Don't worry, I'm a doctor.
So in the spirit of that, today's topic is about racism. After watching Suitcase Man's adaptation of Fight Club,
Samsonite Suitcase?
Samsonite.
I just had to see what other movies this genius had made. And this is where we enter I proud to be Indian. Not I am proud, not me proud, just straight I proud. Straight to the fucking point, just like I like it.
Once and for all.
Now, I love me a good patriotic movie, so let's see how Suitcase Man tackles the complex topic of racism. The movie starts off with this bus pulling over. Bus driver's like, anyone want to get off next to this fucking dodgy tunnel? Indian couple's like, yeah, that sounds perfect. We'll get off here. The couple starts gossiping about their relatives, but then, out of nowhere, a dementor flies by. And this actually makes sense, because this tunnel looks exactly like the one from Harry Potter. His wife's like, dementors and little whinging? He's like, nah, it's probably just Usain Bolt out for a practice lap. Nothing to worry about. He's like, yeah, nah, Usain Bolt's not white, and that thing definitely was, so maybe we should get the fuck out of here. Then we hear the Death Eaters chanting. But the skinhead version. But wait, just in case you didn't think skinheads were evil enough, she's also pregnant. She's like, Sati ? He's like, nah, we can outrun them, and the chase begins. Okay, I've personally never seen more than one skinhead at a time. Even then, it's hard to distinguish between a skinhead and your average meth addict. I know they exist, but what fucking suburb of Christchurch are they in that there's just 50 skinheads chasing them down? Surely the skinheads have something better to do, like smoke crack. They stop chasing and just stand at the edge looking like a bunch of locked video game characters, and then boom, skinhead Moses parts the Red Sea. He stares them down for a bit, and then it then just cuts away. So are they dead? Did he just say it was a prank? Did they get brutally stabbed? This is like the ending of Joker. No one knows. At the airport, we have Indian Martin Scorsese. That's right, he's back. And you know what that means. He's probably going to get blackmailed at some point. He tries to call a cab and the cab skips him and goes right for the white guy. Just in case the audience hasn't realized that this is a movie about racism. The white dude's like, wow, thank you, and tries to get in. But wait, it's him. The man, the myth, the legend, the dude. Suitcase Man is like, the fuck you doing, bro? This Indian guy called the cab before you, now GTFO.
I think I just hailed this cab first.
His dad's like, wow, I've never seen someone stand up to a white person before. He's like, what can I say, Dad? I'm a fucking badass. His fam's like, oh, relatives from India. Nice to see you. We're on our way out, but there's food in the fridge. Grandpa's like, oh, don't worry about food. I could have made my own. I ran a pub in the desert for many, many years. Cut to Suitcase Man taking a shower. Grandpa's trying to watch some pornography in the lounge. Suitcase Man snaps him and is like, Dad. He tries to quickly change the channel. Suitcase Man is like, here, let's switch to the racism channel and see what's happening.
You think it was a racist attack?
Racist attack? Of course it was. The police are a mugging. It's not a mugging. It's a murder. A gruesome, deadly murder.
Well, I guess skinhead Moses' scream did kill them in the end. They're like, lol, murder. Cut to the dinner table. Dude's like, living in London is great, except for all the skinheads. I can't wait until we move out of this neighborhood. Suitcase Man is like, wait, what's a skinhead? Everyone's like, oh, nothing. This is utopia, my man. Nothing to worry about. Cut to the local shop and the skinheads roll in. The cashier is like, bro, truce. I'm a skinhead like you, see? They're like, lol, fuck you. Also love how there's just a random dude outside the shop while this tragedy is taking place. Like, do I really need another Red Bull? Bollywood David Attenborough starts narrating the scene for the audience.
ये गोरे इस आदमी को सिर्फ इसलिए मार रहे हैं क्योंकि इनका मानना है कि इंग्लैंड सिर्फ गोरों का.
This assault turns into a Fair and Lovely commercial.
Fair and Handsome में है अमेरिकन डबल स्ट्रेंथ पेप्टाइड और जड़ी बूटियां जो अंदर समाए और गोरा बनाए 4 हफ्तों में.
Let's make you white. God, you want to be white?
The skinhead actors and their dialogue in this movie is hilariously terrible. Cut to Suitcase Man's sister-in-law walking home. David Attenborough chimes in again with the narration.
कमल इन गोरों के सामने घर जाने के लिए गिड़गिड़ा रही है, मगर गोरे कहते हैं
At this point, I've seen Bollywood Fight Club, so I know Suitcase Man is just waiting behind that gate, stroking himself, waiting to come out at the perfect heroic moment. She breaks free and goes to unlock the door. She's like, nothing wrong, guys, just went out for a jog. Granddad's like, loving the new look, sis. The skinheads make some noise.
I'll give you a nice big white wedding present.
Suitcase Man is like, does this mean it's time for beast mode? She's like, no, no beast mode. Cut to Suitcase Man walking outside.
Come on in, you want some?
What you want, some?
Suitcase Man begins his creative process. Kiss, kiss, bang, bang. This kid's like, fuck playing Tekken, this is way cooler.
Come here. You want some? Come in.
If you want some, I'll give it you.
I think it's a film for all ages.
You don't know what you just started. This ain't over. You did. You friggin'.
The police shows up.
I've given my statement. Nothing more I can add. I mean, I've said what I had to say.
I love in these movies, the Indian dude that lives abroad is always portrayed as this helpless cuck who's so afraid of offending anyone. Hang on. Namaste. I've said what I had to say.
I've said what I had to say.
But the dude who comes straight from India, he's the real deal top bloke. The man we're all waiting for to save the day.
ये लोग कुछ भी पूछें, कुछ नहीं हुआ.
More references to Harry Potter.
Skinheads?
There's some wizards, like the Malfoy family, who think they're better than everyone else.
एक पूरी जनरेशन है जो मानती है कि वो बाकी सारे लोगों से बेहतर है. एशियंस, अफ्रीकन्स. एक को मारोगी तो 10 आ जाएंगे. 10 को मारोगी तो 100. It does not end.
It's the mid-2000s. I really don't think that there's that many skinheads, that there's just a Third Reich reserve waiting to be deployed. Cut to skinhead Moses and an excellent display of white culture.
Purified another corner of our city for the sanctity of our race. Now party.
Oh my fucking... Who wrote these skinhead scenes? We've purified our race, so let's party.
Now party.
I'm also going to take this off because I don't want to look like a geography teacher anymore. Cut to the family household. The daughter is like, I hate going to school. This Nazi kid always bullies me. And of course the dad from London is like, just embrace it, sweetie. I'm a cuck, so I obviously don't care about my child's safety. Suitcase Man is like, I'll deal with this. Cut to the high school.
it's all been dealt with internally.
Watch your back.
Chipkali.
Suitcase Man leaves and all the girls are like...
That's him. That's him.
His brother's like, hey man, you can't just go around beating everyone up. It doesn't solve our problems. Suitcase Man is like, shut the fuck up, you beta. I just came from India and I'm the alpha around these parts now. Nazis decide they want Suitcase Man dead.
I want him finished.
The police rocks up and Officer Dude is like...
एक ना एक दिन कोई ना कोई केन से टक्कर लेगा, और उस दिन Sergeant Grant वहाँ मौजूद होगा.
I'll be right there.
Cut to Suitcase Man and he's a local celebrity now for beating up the Nazi kid.
That's your uncle.
They're your fan club. पूरा college आपके बारे में बात कर रहा है. They're calling you the Indian.
At this point, I'm like 100% sure that this is just a fantasy inside this guy's head. He beats up Nazis, all the girls want him, all the guys want to be him. This is some infinite Tsukuyome shit. And as narcissistic as it gets. Cut to skinhead Moses who's like, who can we hire to kill Suitcase Man?
Who hates Indians more than we do?
Meanwhile, Suitcase Man is on his first shift working at a Chinese restaurant.
Listen, boy. This washer is not working today. You have to wash them all.
Is this guy even Chinese? I'm pretty sure that's just another Indian dude pretending to be Chinese.
Chuck all the rubbish in the backyard.
He's taking out the rubbish and gets jumped. This dude pulls a bracelet out of Suitcase Man's pocket and he's like, hey sis, don't want to bother you, but I'm beating up some Indian dude right now and I just found a bracelet that looks exactly like the one I gave you last Christmas. She's like, oh yeah, I love him. He's the new Nazi beating celebrity around these parts. Dude's like, oh fuck, that's why the Nazis paid me to do this. Makes sense. He drives home and she's like...
वो ठीक तो है ना?
Cut to her paying Suitcase Man a visit. She's like, hey babes, want to go for a walk? And he's like, don't ask me in front of my dad. I'm only 34 and I'm not allowed to date. Plot twist, his dad's like, it's about time you fucking got laid, son. Go on. She's like, you know how you got assaulted last night by a bunch of Pakistani dudes? Yeah, that was my older brother. No hard feelings, yeah? Suitcase man shows up to Pakistani dude's boxing gym.
What's the problem?
You.
Because obviously you can't have a film about racism without dealing with some form of India-Pakistan tension first.
मैं चमचों से नहीं लड़ता.
80-year conflict comes down to this one epic battle. This decides it all.
A few moments later.
Suitcase man is like, I won't fight you anymore. People are using our division against us. We're supposed to be brothers. Pakistani dude is like, see, we worked something out. Who's next? Palestine and Israel? Cut to Pakistani dude pulling up to Suitcase man's house. Grandpa's like, where you from? Dude's like, I'm from Pakistan. He's like, oh, I love Pakistan. We have some distant relatives there. What about your grandparents? He's like, oh, they died during the partition.
Sorry.
This movie's just taking swings in all directions. Not only is this movie ending white on brown racism today, it's also healing the century-long divide between Pakistan and India.
I think there's something you need to know.
Dude's like, skinheads around here want you dead. They paid me to kill you. Suitcase man is like, fuck's sakes, white people, am I right?
पाकिस्तानी हो, हिंदुस्तानी या फिर बांग्लादेशी, ये साले गोरे सबसे नफरत करते हैं.
Divide and rule.
But no longer. No more Pakistan or India. Now our motto is just fuck white people. Kid walks up and he's like,
Who's he?
A friend.
And there you have it. Equality achieved. Cut to Pakistani dude back in his gym. Skinhead Moses is like, bro, hurry up and kill the Indian dude. I paid you already. He's like, I'm working on it.
So why don't I believe you?
Meanwhile, Gramps is walking home. He drops his grocery bag, but some kind stranger decided to help him out. Plot twist. Camera cuts away to Tekken. Grandpa arrives home and he's like, no one disturb me. I'm going to be in the bathroom for a very long time. Camera pans up to reveal Gramps is the guy who runs the How to Basic YouTube channel. Who in the world would have thought? He has a cry in the bathtub. Suitcase man is like, is everything alright? You've been in there for 2 hours. Gramps is like, go away, I'm making a YouTube video. He opens the door and says he tripped on the way home. Suitcase man is not buying it. He's like, was it
Skinheads ne?
Dad's like, no, you can't do anything. They said if we told the police, they would kill us all. And there it is. The classic blackmail scene this dude gets cast in every movie for. He's like, you can't beat this man. I saw it in his eyes. He's like, what did you see? He's like,
The grim is among the darkest omens in our world.
Suitcase man is like,
Kane! Come on, you bastard!
he goes to punch him, but the power of white supremacy absorbs the punch. The police shows up and de-escalates the situation. Back at the police station, cops are like, we can't arrest him since we don't have any reports.
He picked on my father? He picked on an old, defenseless man?
Suitcase man and dad walk out of the police station and the skinhead red carpet is just waiting for them. How is this real? You're telling me there's just 20 skinheads waiting right outside the police station waiting to attack? I mean, I know the police is not the best, but they aren't that fucking useless. The skinhead at the back is the spitting image of Slim Jesus.
Thou shit, stay out my spot, don't speak my name.
Back at home, Pakistani dude is like, yo, what the fuck were you thinking going in 1v9? You can't beat skinhead Moses. How many punches do you think it would take? 10? 15? 20? Suitcase man is like, 21. It'll take 21 punches. He's like, shut the fuck up. You're not going to be able to land 21 punches. The family roast session begins. Suitcase man is like, fuck this. Pakistani dude is like, you love my sister, don't you? Think about what the skinheads will do to her. Why does there have to be a romance between the dude and his mate's sister in all of this guy's movies?
And I love your sister.
Pakistani dude is like, hey, you should marry my sister. Suitcase man is like, I mean, I like her, but I've barely known her for a week. Pakistani dude is like, please do it for me. I shit you not, his reasoning for wanting to get his sister married off is so she can move out of the house and he can use her room as a library with his own personal bookshelf. I mean, what are sisters really for? Eventually, they grow old and you just replace them with a bookshelf.
बस कमरा खाली उस कमरे के साथ एक स्टडी बना लूंगा उसमें कुछ किताबें होंगी एक डेस्क होगा बस.
Suitcase man is like, lol, have you ever read a book in your life? Go on, name one.
I didn't know you could read.
Pakistani dude is like, I can read, I just can't think of a book right now. After countless references I've made, this scene proves that this movie is in fact inspired by Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, कभी पढ़ा है क्या?
हाँ? Harry Potter. ज़्यादा दरवाज़ा खोल.
Cut to a random Indian wedding. Surely we can't have two feel-good scenes in a row in a movie about racism. Suitcase man's brother's like, this is your fault. You introduced him to whipped cream. He's like, me lol? Dad's like, from now on, no one eats whipped cream in my house. Suitcase man is like, no, I love whipped cream. Brother's like, whipped cream is tearing this family apart and...
You are responsible for it!
Suitcase man is like, no, whipped cream is good for you. It always has been and it always will be. Grandpa steps in and he's like, enough of this. Take your whipped cream and leave us in peace. Just when all hope is lost for whipped cream, Mum chips in. She's like, guys, what it's worth, I also love whipped cream. Suitcase man realizes his beef with the skinheads is ruining his family, so he goes to apologize to skinhead Moses.
Oi!
I'm sorry.
From your knees.
I'm sorry.
Gramps is like, look, I know that was hard for you, son, but skinheads are very trustworthy people. Now that you apologized, I'm sure they'll stick to their word and we'll have nothing to worry about. We're gonna live happily ever after. Suitcase man has a full-on cry. He's like, I wrote this script so I could beat up bad guys, impress chicks, and save the day. Who the fuck added this scene in? Suitcase man's like, fuck this, I'm going back to India. Skinheads burn down the family's house. His brother's like, wow, if only I didn't grow up abroad and I was raised in India. Maybe then I'd have a backbone to do something about this. Meanwhile, Suitcase man is at the airport and rings his mate's sister for one last erotic phone call. But she's like, help, skinheads killed my brother. Suitcase man shows up to the neo-Nazi pub and his rampage begins. Every Indian in London shows up to spectate the reckoning.
Apologize! Apologize!
Yeah, I'm not sure if beating people into submission and getting them on the ground and forcing them to apologize is the way to end racism.
Apologize!
But I'm not gonna lie, this dude makes a compelling argument.
Let's finish this. You and me.
Here it is, folks, the final battle. They start duking it out. Suitcase man is getting a hiding. Grandpa is like, fuck, should we help him out? Brother's like, nah, you gotta respect the rules of the 1v1. Just when it looks like all hope is lost, boom, brother finally grows a pair and jumps in only to get fucking wrecked. Suitcase man is on the verge of death, and in the most classic brown parent fashion, Gramps starts abusing the shit out of him for losing the fight.
Rami kutte kamine paki gulam sale agar aaj tu yahan pada mar gaya to koi hindustani sar uthakar kabhi khada nahi reh sakega.
Grandpa is giving the Oscar speech of a lifetime and none of it's working, but then he says the magic words.
Kahan hai wo Indian?
Vande Mataram.
Suitcase man is like, I proud to be Indian. He bows and takes the blessings from his father. As if this guy wasn't already the picture-perfect son, dude literally gets his dad's blessings before fighting Nazis. It doesn't get more obedient than that. I'd hate to be this dude's cousin, because you could just never live up to the comparisons. How many times did I hit him? Gramps is like 20. He's like 21 punches, remember? Here's 21. He hits him with the power of all 29 Indian states.
Do it.
The cops show up for the 5th time in the movie.
Do something. You're a policeman.
I'm not on duty for another 10 minutes.
Seriously, what the fuck is up with the police in this movie? In no world would a bunch of police officers be like, fuck, this is a mean fight, let's not intervene. Suitcase man charges up and hits him with the Bengal tiger smash. Everyone's like, yay, murder. Suitcase man is like, Dad, I did it. I murdered that cunt. Dad's like, good job, son. I'm proud. He goes for a crowd surf. His brother's like, I could never murder someone because I'm a pussy who lives abroad. He finds his mate's sister and gives her a nice big hug. The end. Welp, you can tell your kids this is how racism ended. But let's hear it from the filmmakers to break this down.
A lot of people ask me, why is it called I Proud to be an Indian? Isn't that grammatically incorrect? Shouldn't it be I am proud to be an Indian? No, it's grammatically it is correct.
It's a story of every Indian.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Yes, people of color 100% do face racial discrimination, but not that fucking extreme. Not everyone's getting their houses burned down and their children whipped creamed.
Tim walked in and embraced this character.
You got that? My first movie. The character is not likable, really.
Pure and white.
There was a time we were shooting outside a police station, and the requirement as far as the script was concerned was a whole bunch of skinheads, and none of the extras turned up. So our assistant directors went literally pub hopping, going to every pub in that vicinity, putting signs up on the wall saying, please, you know, if you're willing to shave your head off, if you can play skinhead, and you'll get a little bit of money for it.
Can you imagine how dodgy that would sound? Hey mate, I'll give you $50 if you shave your head, wear the swastika jacket and meet me outside the police station.
It doesn't matter if you're Indian, a Pakistani, a Bangladeshi, a Japanese, Chinese, a black, a white. Color should not matter.
I can't dog my boy too hard on this one. His heart was in the right place. And that's pretty much it. Another 10 out of 10 movie from Suitcase, man. I wonder how deep his gold mine runs.